So, Ben, you've been in the Salesforce ecosystem since it really took off and became a game changer. Why is Salesforce such an important platform for business?
I think there's a number of things to that. So customers are becoming more and more demanding in terms of the way that they want their service delivered. So everybody expects high levels of service these days. Also, people want personalized buying journeys. So, customers expect us to know them and to tailor, everything along their kind of buying and service journey all the way. And in order to be able to do that, it means that we need to know absolutely everything about a client, and we also need to tailor what we say and when we say it, and the kind of communication to customers is key. And so therefore you need a platform to be able to hold all of that information. It needs to be easily accessible to business users, whether they're service agents who are servicing existing clients or sales teams who are selling to new clients or upselling to existing clients. They need that information. So Salesforce talks about this kind of 360 platform, and it's basically having that 360-degree view of the customer. And it's about having that information in one place. So you're not having to swivel chair between multiple different systems. You can just look in one single platform. Everybody's aligned in terms of business users within a company. They're all saying the same information, and it's easy for them to collaborate. So I think that's the kind of game changer that Salesforce is, and that's why it's so popular. And it's I think CRM systems, are a must these days for businesses, because that's the only way that you can meet those aspirations that our buyers and customers have these days. So you need that platform to be able to do it. I think the other thing is, we deal with a lot of customers. Our customers are, and I believe Salesforce's customers, they're all growing businesses. And so, in order to be able to grow a business, you need a platform that can scale up with you, something that you can start small and then you can iterate on, and over time you can add more and more functionality and capability. Particularly, if you're growing, obviously sales is going to be a really important factor. So you need a solution that can help you manage your sales, stay on top of things, make sure that no kind of lead or prospect falls through the gaps. That the delivery and the sales process and the experience that they have buying from you is the same as every other customer, and is the best that you can give. So you need Salesforce to enable you to do that. And equally, you then need Salesforce to assist you with with your service delivery and making sure that you actually deliver the dream that you've sold to the customer. So I think those are the kind of growing businesses, that's a key factor. And I think also users are now expecting, in a business, they want good systems to use. Nobody wants an antiquated system on a green screen, or to have to use multiple different systems. So I think employees are being picky about their employers and who they work for and what kind of experience they get in the workplace. So they want to have the latest tools, the latest technology. They want things to be easy. They don't want to have legacy tools or inadequate tools. So I think that's definitely something that we see. So customers who, for example, adopt Service Cloud from Salesforce, there's such a huge positive impact on staff morale of, when you actually implement a solution like that, because all the information is at their fingertips. They can deliver much better service at speed. The systems can, tell them, kind of guide them in terms of what do they need to say to the customer, how can they solve the problems. So I think also that, the staff user experience is another thing that, again, why is it popular? I think it's because we've also got employees and staff and they've got their own expectations as well as what the customers are expecting as well. So a platform like Salesforce, really does deliver in that regard. It gives a brilliant user experience.
How has Salesforce changed the way we do business?
So I think a big thing is consistency. of business and quality, and being able to replicate that time and time again, so deliver the same experience to customers. And Salesforce as a platform allows you to do that. You can digitize your business processes, and the system can, enforce and guard against people going off the rails. So we can have, business processes on rails, if you like, guided by Salesforce with some flexibility, because obviously, I think there is a balance to be had between, you don't want the system completely controlling everything and, giving no opportunity for staff to add value. So I think there's a balance to be had in terms of how much the system kind of validates and enforces processes. But I do think it's important in terms of delivering a consistent customer experience these days. So I think that's something that I've seen with our clients. They can consistently do things the same way every single time. They can report on the effectiveness of their processes, and the nice thing is where Salesforce is so flexible, it's so easy to change a process, nothing's set in stone, so you can iterate on things, and we see that with customers all the time. So you might imagine that version 1.0 is your ultimate business process, but actually over time you realize that there's a tweak here and an enhancement there, but because you can report on it at all kind of phases of it, then we can actually look at the efficiency and effectiveness of those business processes, and we can continually change them, because obviously nothing stays still in the world of business. Businesses change, customers' expectations change, markets change, businesses have new opportunities that they want to seek out. So the fact that you can adapt the system very quickly and easily to suit those changes is an important thing. So I think it's the consistency enabling that, and then the flexibility of the system. So as things change, it can be updated, and you can continually evolve it. It's that kind of ISO 9001 mentality. You're constantly striving for the best, and you may have to keep kind of changing things along the way to get the optimum solution, basically.
Yeah. And what other challenges has Salesforce solved for our customers?
I think some of the big changes we've seen is, for example, in sales functions within business where they haven't had a CRM before, and things are running off of spreadsheets. Everything's kind of second hand. Nobody's really got a forward vision as to what's happening with the pipeline. There's inconsistency in forecasts and numbers coming out, and it's a bit of a mess. And we see customers who are really keen to drive growth in their business. They want to push things forward. They want to increase their pipeline. They want to deliver more sales. And without a tool like Salesforce, I think it's quite difficult to achieve that. So Salesforce, is a huge enabler in that area, allowing customers to grow and drive revenue with the system, driving that. So the other challenge that we see often that Salesforce is solving for our customers is the need to do more with less resources. So we are often automating business processes. We're leveraging AI. We're looking at predictive AI, generative AI, all of these things. Again, it's kind of, you've got to be cost conscious. You need to, drive efficiency within your business. So Salesforce, leveraging that technology, that can really help to that end. I think in terms of, if we look at our customers from a service perspective, obviously, call deflection and kind of optimizing the utilization of call center agents or customer service agents, allowing them to do, deal with ever increasing volumes of calls and customer requirements. Salesforce can help in that end as well. So, we're looking at technologies like live chat, chat bots, knowledge bases, and AI, kind of suggesting to customers, I think this article could help solve your problem. So we're kind of, we're deflecting calls potentially away from agents. So that really it's about allowing them to deal with to really leverage their value and deal with the more complex things. And I think also a lot of the things that we've done with clients in terms of, doing some really smart stuff around guiding agents. So putting on screen prompting, putting them through a process, leveraging data within other systems to intelligently suggest to the agents what they should be doing, and how the conversation with the client needs to be steered. It basically cuts the call times dramatically. So we're seeing that agents are solving calls first time rather than second or third time call, and also the actual length of the call is much shortened. And the same thing even with emails. Often now we can engineer things where an email comes in, the system's logged it, it's suggested this is literally what the fix is going to be, and this is what we should reply back to the customer. And really the agent, all they need to do is just review that information, say, yeah, that's fine, send the email away, and off we go. So I think that's a real game changer. That's really speeding up the processes within businesses so they can deliver faster and better, and again, consistent customer service.
Why does Salesforce not work for so many businesses?
That's a great question, and we see that quite often. So there's a number of different reasons why that can happen. I think a big issue is user adoption. And I think for me, what I've often witnessed in the past is where we've worked with a company to implement Salesforce. We have worked with senior management executives, and what we can quite often see is people will then have a management meeting or a board meeting or a sales meeting, and actually what they're doing is they're working off a spreadsheet that's been exported from Salesforce. And when we ask the question, well, why have you done that? You could use the Salesforce forecasting. Yeah, but I like it in this particular view, and that's how we've always done it. So that's what I want to do. And also, so I think, these things have to come from the top. So, lead by example, and that makes such a big difference. If the management and the executives are, adopting the technology, they're using it, they're leading by example, but also all of the reporting and the reporting that's flashed up in meetings, be they, sales meetings, board meetings, those really should be driven straight out of Salesforce. Because I think if you don't do that, then the people who you are expecting to use it will kind of go, well, you don't use it, so do I need to use it? So I see that quite often. I've seen that a lot in the past. So another reason that Salesforce we see often not working for businesses is that we talk about quite often in the Salesforce ecosystem, the accidental admin. So this is somebody within a business who is probably quite tech savvy, is used to software and systems. Maybe they've got some, experience in the past of implementing systems, perhaps not from an IT background. And so the business will buy Salesforce and say, oh, right, okay, we need somebody to administer this system. Bob over there, he's kind of good with systems. So Bob, come and have a look after Salesforce. And that's how, so Bob never intended to be a Salesforce administrator, but he's now become the accidental admin. So that's a kind of a role that we often talk about in the ecosystem. And so what we can find with that in terms of is through no fault of Bob, the accidental admin, but often these are people who they've never seen Salesforce before. Perhaps they've not been exposed to CRM implementations or sales systems or customer service or customer portals, whatever it may be that we're implementing. And so they give it their best shot, they absolutely do. But Salesforce does work a little different to other, perhaps more traditional IT systems. So where we've we've seen, for example, solutions that have been developed in-house by teams who have been used to working on a Microsoft technology stack, so they know that they can literally just build something from scratch on SQL Server, for example, or Oracle database, and they kind of try to sort of sledgehammer Salesforce into working in that way, and it doesn't. Salesforce does work in its own unique kind of way, and so I think it's really that lack of Salesforce solutions expertise, lack of Salesforce technical expertise, can often result in a system being built in such a way that actually it's not as scalable or optimized as it should be. Perhaps also we see quite a bit of people reinventing the wheel. So they're used to developing things from scratch, so they're going to build something in Salesforce, and then if we come along and have a look at things from a health check perspective, which we often do for people, technical reviews of their solutions, we'll kind of say, hey, you do know that thing you built there, it's just out of the box. You could have just switched on this functionality. And I think so. That's another thing we see. You need a good spread of the skills. You need that Salesforce consulting and admin solutions knowledge, so you're really aware of what's out of the box and what can be done, and that you build things in a scalable way. And then you also need a technical architect. You need somebody with the technical skills too, to make sure that, if there is anything where we have to extend the platform, anything that's a little bit more bespoke, again, that we build that in a scalable way, performant way. And also, really important these days is security as well. You don't want to accidentally expose data on the internet, that you didn't mean to. And again, it's having that knowledge of the way that Salesforce works, the security protocols, configuration, etc. So I guess, those are sort of technical and knowledge related issues that we see it sort of time in, time out. We see it a lot with companies asking us to come in and review, health check their system, critique it, and have a look at what they're doing. And it's often it's not through anybody's fault as such, but it's just a lack of experience and a lack of Salesforce technical expertise and skills that we end up having to actually kind of unpick and wind back some of the work that they've done to then rebuild it in a way that is going to work for their business. And I also think that one of the other things is, I think it's really important to really understand the users and the use case and how the system needs to function, understand the business goals, and make sure that the solution that we built is completely aligned with that. We've seen quite a few examples where we've been into businesses where something's been built, and we interview the users for feedback and to kind of quiz them on it, and they'll say, well, I just wasn't consulted. They just told us this is the system you're getting, and that's how you've got to use it. And again, that's an issue that then goes back to the adoption, because these users are not bought into the new solution. Again, the adoption suffers because they kind of feel like they haven't been consulted. It's been kind of forced on them. So I think it's really important to consider the change management side of things as well, and the impact on people, and make sure that you get that aligned. You need good communications throughout the kind of build of anything, and the deployment and the training and so on, so that people are really excited, they understand it, they're bought into it, they know that they're going to get what they need. And I think that makes such a difference to the the quality of implementation and the success of the adoption of that technology.
Talking about quality, is data quality important in the success of a Salesforce implementation?
Absolutely, yeah, it's critical. So, and I think it's something that people often underestimate as well. So we will see quite a lot of the time, there's often another system that's being replaced, or perhaps we want to populate Salesforce with a feed of data from somewhere else, maybe an account system, for example. And so we'll see, and maybe it could be a combination of different sources of data within a business. And more often than not, you'll see duplicates that go into the system. You'll see incomplete data, incorrect data, and given that Salesforce is supposed to be giving us that, single source of the truth, one version of the customer record, completely accurate, people are making decisions on that. If you don't have that, and if it's incorrect, then you really are going to struggle to deliver that good customer experience. And also, if you look at marketing, again, if you don't engage in the right way with a prospect and you start hitting them with multiple emails, the wrong messaging, you reference them in the wrong way, instantly you've probably lost that prospect forever. So it is critical that is done right, and it is, depending on how many sources of data, the volumes of records that customers have, it can really be quite an undertaking to do that. So something that should definitely be considered, and we will always review that as part of every Salesforce implementation project that we look at. We'll review the data, the sources, the cleanliness, duplicates, completeness, all of that good stuff, and really plan a thorough, in-depth process, for actually migrating data and cleaning it up. And more often than not, 9 times out of 10, that does take longer than what people expect. So it's crucial to the success.
What do you think is the most important thing that Salesforce does for our business?
So, as you would hope and expect, we've adopted Salesforce for our business right off the bat. So, straight from day one, as a Salesforce partner, we've adopted Salesforce into our business. We only partner with Salesforce, that is our chosen technology. So we're a pure Salesforce consultancy. We don't deal with any other technologies. And I think the thing that people often don't necessarily know initially is that Salesforce is not just a CRM system. So it doesn't just look after your marketing, sales, and customer service. It can do so much more. It is a platform. It's a software platform. You can build anything that you like on it. So for Performer IT, we obviously do use the sales and marketing side of things. So we use account engagement within our marketing. We use the marketing features within the Salesforce platform. We also use accounts, contacts, and opportunities to manage our sales. We use the forecasting features. We have a raft of different sales reports, dashboards, all of the key metrics that we need to run the business from a sales and marketing perspective. They all come through Salesforce. We also service our customers using Salesforce. So we have a lot of customers who have ongoing support with us, be that break fix or second level support, or managed services providers. So they use Service Cloud to raise their requests with us over a number of different channels, and then we use Salesforce to record those and service them and report back on them, because customers want to know, how many tickets have I raised with you, how long did it take Performer IT to respond, how long has it taken for us to work on those different tickets to resolve them, how long has it taken from the ticket being raised to the problem being solved, all of that good stuff. We can do all of that on Salesforce. We also use Salesforce Experience Cloud to allow our customers to log in and self-service. So if they want to raise tickets, see the status of existing service requests that they have with us, even down to project management. So we've built our own in-house custom project management platform within Salesforce. It's fully connected to Sales Cloud. So once we close an opportunity for a project, that will create a project within Salesforce. It will fill in all kinds of information around the project. It will kick off various different processes internally within our business, and all of those are managed on Salesforce. So we know that we can consistently provide the same level of service every single time. We can report off of those as well. So it's obviously crucial to us. Projects have timeframes attached to them. There's various, there are budgetary constraints as well. So we need to monitor all the time and be aware of how we're tracking against budgets, timescales, quality. Are deployments going in right first time, every time? Have we had any bugs? If we have, how many? When were they detected? How long has it taken us to fix them? All of that good stuff. That is all completely managed on Salesforce, and we also use a number of Salesforce ecosystem apps. So we use applications that will help us improve our quality of delivery. So we use various DevOps tooling that is Salesforce specific. We use some technical solutions which help us with analysing our clients' organisations, looking at the health of them, identifying technical debt that they might have, which is important for us because we have seen in the past where previous engagements with other suppliers, there's not been the quality there. We go to deploy something and actually something from the past trips us up. So we've got some tools that will help us identify that early on, so we can warn clients of it, and we can make sure that we address those things so we get a really smooth implementation. So Salesforce does everything for us. We even use it for our timesheets, time recording, billing. Our billing solution is our accounting software is fully linked up to Salesforce. So literally we are, from start to finish, wall to wall, a Salesforce business, and all of our different processes run on that, even down to recruitment. We've got some customizations that we've done there. So yeah, it really is a platform to run your entire business on.
Is Salesforce for everyone?
I think, looking back over the years, so it's 13 plus years now, we've been delivering Salesforce solutions for clients. If I look at what makes it successful for clients, I look at those clients that are doing really well with it. I think there's a couple of things. I think number one is growth and appetite for growth. So those clients are very focused on growing their businesses. They understand that they need a platform that's scalable, reliable, and secure. And Salesforce certainly is that platform. They have, aspirations to increase their revenues, increase their, level of customer service. They want to automate their business processes as much as possible. They want to be efficient. They want efficient operations in their business. And so those clients who come to us, with those aspirations are really successful. We have had customers who've come to us where they've said, well, the existing software we've got kind of suits us. We don't really need to grow. We don't really need to change anything, but unfortunately it's unsupported. So we need something, and we looked at the market and Salesforce was best, so we'll take that. I think that kind of mindset and attitude, they tend not to get the same value out of it and kind of improve their business as some of the people with a different mindset, the growth mindset. I think the other thing is that it's also innovative companies. So companies who are open to change, fast to adapt, to looking for that, that new edge that they can get over the competition, the way that they can get ahead. If you look at the Salesforce platform, they've won Forbes Most Innovative Company of the Year awards for countless years on. They're constantly growing through acquisition and also in-house development of the platform. If I look at the Salesforce ecosystem now, not the entire ecosystem, just what Salesforce themselves offer, it's huge compared to 13 years ago. There's so much more that it can do. And if we look now at the, AI, it is here. It is the big thing. It's what everybody, understands is going to help give them that competitive edge. And Salesforce is right at the forefront of that. They're really out there. They've adopted it early on. We've got some really good partnerships as well, technical partners that are helping Salesforce to deliver that. So I think, that is another innovation is a huge thing. So companies that are innovative, companies again who, if we take the flip side where they're less open to change, again it can be, it can take us quite a while to convince those types of clients that, you know, actually they do need to change, or it would be beneficial to adopt a technology. But that comes sometimes at the expense of then kind of being behind the curve. So I think, yeah, a growth and innovation mindset, those would be the things that I see as successful. Maybe the question was, are there companies that Salesforce doesn't work for? I don't think that really, I don't think there's a size of company per se, because Salesforce has a flavour of Salesforce for every company, be that a 1 or 2 person company, all the way up to companies with 100,000 plus employees. There are solutions to fit all, and the system can scale up. So as you grow, the system can grow with you, and it's not going to cause you any pains to do that. So I think companies that are, you know, sort of kind of stagnant, not really wanting to grow, a bit change resistant, not particularly innovative, it's not that it's not going to work for them, but they're probably just not going to get the benefit, I would say.
What are we, talking about the future, talking about AI and companies growing, what are we in partnership with Salesforce doing to ensure future success for ourselves and our clients?
So we are, as you'd imagine, we're very closely aligned with Salesforce, both from a technical standpoint and also from an account management perspective. Obviously, we are a partnership. We are Salesforce partners, so it's important to do that. So what we're doing with Salesforce and Salesforce are doing within the ecosystem is making sure that they educate partners such as ourselves. So there's a huge raft of education that's available to us, and also our end user clients too. And so it's really Salesforce are keeping us abreast of the latest developments on the platform. So they're sharing previews of new forthcoming functionality. They're telling us what we need to learn. They're providing training materials. They're also providing exams as well, and testing, so we can actually, we can validate that we really do know and have the skills to be able to help our customers with implementing these new technologies. And yeah, I think it's really the alignment between the two businesses, and Salesforce are obviously feeding Performer IT with the right information, telling us what we need to be upskilled on, and keeping us up to speed with the pace of innovation that they're running at, so that we know what's up and coming. We can then advise our customers, and we've got the knowledge and skills, the right skills to be able to do that, and give them the right information and ensure that they're successful. Salesforce obviously, want to retain their customer base. We want to, retain ours, and that fundamentally that comes down to our joint customers need to be successful on the platform. They need to be growing. They need to be innovating. They need to be seeing positive change. They need to get great value for money from those Salesforce license fees as well, and that's what we want to do. The most important thing to us is seeing our customers succeed and do really well, and improve their businesses. That's the big buzz that we get, and making sure that that they are getting the absolute best value they can from Salesforce.